Welcome back to Studio 10.
Jefferson Players' new play, Into the Woods, combines the stories of Cinderella, Rapunzel, Jack and the Beanstalk, and Little Red Riding Hood. We have three of the cast members here today. We have Ember, Christopher, and David. Thank you all for coming into Studio 10. Good morning.
Thanks for having us.
All right, we were talking a little bit during the commercial break. Into the Woods has been around since the 80s, so some people out there are very familiar with it. Some people are not, though. For those who don't really know much about this story, I guess you're the narrator, so tell us a little bit about the story here.
Well, it's kind of a mashup of a number of fairy tales, and there are some stock characters like a narrator like me. Christopher plays the baker, who's the guy around whom the other characters weave their stories. So yeah, it combines them and takes them off in different ways that you haven't seen before.
All right, and speaking of which, you play Little Red Riding Hood, so this is kind of a new twist on her story as well. How does she play into this with the other characters as well? Rapunzel, Cinderella, Jack and the Beanstalk, all that kind of stuff.
You know, her character isn't really expected to be the typical Little Red Riding Hood that you just see skipping, even though I do skip a lot in the show. But,
okay.
Little Red just sort of learns how to really grow up throughout the show, as well as Jack. So through interacting with the baker and with Cinderella.
All right, so is the baker kind of the protagonist in this, since everybody kind of revolves around him, or is he just kind of the glue for this story?
They created the baker and his wife sort of to give a through line. They have a task to collect all of these items to get a potion, and so like her cape and Cinderella's shoes and Jack's cow and the hair of Rapunzel, and we combine those things together to make a potion.
All right, and not only are we combining different stories here to come up with one fantastic story, but this is also a musical as well. Tell us a little bit about some of the songs in this production.
There's all kinds of songs. It's Sondheim. If anybody knows Sondheim, there's going to be a range. There's some beautiful stuff. There are some that are just spoken in rhythm, but at a pace that would make your head spin. And these guys are both in that number. It's fantastic. I think there's something for everybody musically. Number of solos, number of group pieces, number of duets.
Well, it certainly sounds like a lot of fun, something you're going to want to come out and see. More than 20 cast members and people involved in this production. So, when is Into the Woods taking place?
We open this Friday night, and we run for 3 weekends. We have Friday night, Saturday night performances, as well as Sunday matinees.
All right, and there you see the information at the screen at the Jefferson Playhouse on South Carlin Street. We'll have all that information online as well. So I guess since the performance is coming up in just a few days, I'll say break a leg.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, sounds good. Thank you so much for coming in, and go see that information online. Danny, what's going on in the tech world?